When I'm working with my incredible clients, there's many of them that have been through some sort of trauma in their life, one way or another. It could be a big trauma, it could be a little trauma. Either way, it is some type of trauma to the point where they have been hurt mentally, physically, emotionally by another person. And when that happens, our psyche takes a beating. It really and truly does. We get so defeated. We feel like we're to blame, or the circumstances are to blame. We're looking to place blame anywhere we can so that the brain and the mind can make sense of what's happened to us. Because if it can't sort of logic its way out of there, we will tend to get stuck. We can shut down, which does happen, obviously, if we don't have the capacity to actually try to make sense of it, analyze it, to move through it and realize what was and what was out of our control. That can be a fine line, and depending on the circumstances, depending on the individual, there could be a struggle there. It might be a little bit easier for other people. Everyone is an individual, obviously. But there is one message I continuously work with when I'm working with clients, or one continue, I guess, saying or way of being or way of looking at something. And it is this. When somebody has hurt you, they've already taken enough of your power away. Don't let them take all of your power away. Don't allow that person to take the control that you do have over your life, meaning the control of where you go, what you do, if you're social, if you're interacting with people, if you're just trying to live kind of a proverbial normal life. Don't allow that person to take that control away from you, because that is yours to own. That is something that is your divine birthright, and it is not something that should be taken away from you ever. And I know it's really, really hard when you're in these moments of feeling so victimized. And obviously you have to meet yourself right where you're at in terms of that process. But that individual or that group of individuals, whatever it is, has already taken so much of you away. They've already left a scar on your psyche. They have already, had you take an emotional snapshot of the set of circumstances by which they had hurt you. So when you're moving through this process and when you're really trying to walk the healing path, the healing journey towards coming out on the other side and feeling more like yourself, there are little things in your life that you can control. You can control a safety plan. You can control, meeting with friends and making sure you're doing so in a safe place and all of this stuff. You can go back to school in honor of the first day of school. You can do all of those things, but sometimes you might feel like you can't. Like it's unsafe. Like you need to just protect yourself. And I can completely understand that. Believe me, I can. But how much of your own power are you going to let this other individual take away? How much are you going to forfeit for somebody else? Because, and for some people, they might be like, well, wait a minute, what if it isn't safe and all of this stuff? And I completely get that. We can only control what is in our circle of control. We can control if we're going out. We can control putting a safety plan into place. We can control having our emergency contacts ready. We can control what we're going to do when we're going to see the other individual. We can control all of those things because that's within our propensity to do so. But it's easier sometimes, and because fear gets in the way here and it becomes in play, it's easier for us to shut down. It's easier for us to be like, okay, if I just stay home and I don't do anything and I just avoid the world, then I'm safe. I can guarantee my safety. But that is giving that power away, that power of life, that power of enjoyment, all of those things that are within your control and are your right to have as a human here on the earth plane. They become given up to the other person who's already taken enough, who's already given you the scar in your psyche. So this is one thing I'm always working with my clients with. How much power are you willing to let them take from you? What is it? Even if it's baby steps, even if you felt unsafe to leave the house, what can you do today? What's one thing you can do today to take your power back? Can you go for a 5-minute walk to the corner and back? Bonus, win, victory. You've taken it back. And we're doing this little bits, little chunks at a time in a very, very safe way. But ask yourself that question. How much am I willing to give away? How much of my power am I willing to give away to this individual? They've taken enough. And it can really help you flip your perspective. and start looking at things as being a survivor as opposed to being a victim. And obviously there's an element of bravery and courage here. It takes bravery and guts and courage to be able to be like, no, I've had enough of this. This is not happening anymore. This person's had enough, and I am unwilling to let them take any more. And it is brave. You have to have courage. You have to be brave to put that one foot in front of the other when you've been feeling all of this fear living in your nervous system, to say, okay, well, you know what? Today I'm going for a walk. Today I'm doing it. I'm doing it. And making that small step. But it's got to be one foot in front of the other, one small thing at a time. You can't take the world on all at once, but you can make decisions, small ways each and every day to take back your power. So it's something for all of you to consider, and it's a really important way to reframe your thoughts, especially if you've been living life in survival mode. But just a little wee one for me. With all of that, I hope you are happy, healthy, and abundant. And of course, it's been a couple days. Make it a great day. Make it a great day. Make it a great day. Let's get to it. I'll see you soon.